The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
So, every now and then, a king is so bad, the whole kingdom ends up in the bin. And if your king's the kind of genius that thinks rewarding an adventuring party by building a 6-lane, 5-mile bridge between nowhere and nothing is a good idea, and then naming it after himself, then you can understand how the common folk can rapidly lose faith that they're ever going to wake up in the morning, and aren't exactly pleased when in fact they do. So, you'd be thinking, drinker, you Calipigian colossus, why does not a neighbouring enemy kingdom simply invade the weakened kingdom, filled with peasants yearning and welcoming of a better leadership? Well, dear listener, the answer lies in the stricken kingdom's military, led by one of the most fearsome generals in all the world. How does the kingdom with no economy and taxes afford a military? Don't know. And why does not said general just take over? Oh, because he's off in the enemy kingdom on a diplomatic mission. Wouldn't the enemy kingdom just kill the feared general while he's all helpless and blame it on rogue elements who of course will be executed for their temerity? Or invade whilst the general they fear is nowhere near his post?
I think I can smell shite.
Fuck off, kingdom! Eventually, all good things must come to an end, and the general went home, saw the condition his kingdom was in, and was like, fuck this noise, I better take over while I somehow still have an army. And so a civil war began. Actually, general second in command, diverse female sub-general, had been kind of running one for a month or so. Why didn't she send a message to the general to bring him home? Don't know. So anyway, the general gets home, and he wins the damn war in about 2 days, kind of making it look like diverse female sub-general maybe should have sent that message to the general and get him home a bit sooner. Maybe a lot less people could have died if he's just going to get here and win in 2 days. Fuck off, kingdom! And everything was better. The competent general and diverse female sub-general was ruling the kingdom, and everyone had lots of hope for the future. Except no. The king's son takes over, for some reason, and the general goes back to his odd job, like nothing happened. What? Oh, but it's okay, because there's gonna be a big party celebrating the new king, and somehow everyone thinks this is going to turn out just fine. You see, usually when major political events occur, it changes things. It alters the political landscape. 2 factions of people who used to live peacefully with each other have just engaged in a series of brutal fights to the death. Sons and fathers are dead, and they're not coming back. The balance of political power has shifted, and a bunch of opportunists and power-hungry tyrants that we like to call the nobility suddenly have a bunch of new opportunities to build up influence and grab power. And we're all expected to believe things are all going to be good now. This nation has greedy neighbours eyeing up a recently weakened kingdom whose own army has just had a punch-up with itself and would be ill-equipped to put up much of a fight. And they're not gonna just try and walk in and take over. I know the general's back, but the general still needs an army. But no, it's okay. Let's crown a king and carry on like we didn't just lose a good quarter of the fighting age men in the land. I'm sure everything will be fine. Fuck off, kingdom. Anyway, I said all I plan on saying, and my mug is empty. Go away now. the Season 4 starting intro. Season 4, Chapter 3. Episode whatever the fuck. 76, I think. Our brave heroes and Stump are aboard a boat called the Undisputed Era. A boat that they suspect might be involved in sexy smuggling of magical artifacts from one point to another. Specifically from Talvalen all the way up the Sapphire and perhaps offloading them to agents of the Red Wizards of They. They have had to leave Zeiss at the behest of staying alive. They leave behind their parties put magic on their sword guy. Or stabby mage. Conflicted, and not even having enough time to really deal with this. The harrowing call of "Pirates!" was heard. And upon hearing that the legendary Dijak the Pirate, a pirate literally none of them have ever heard of, because... Shut up. They hastened onto the deck, feeling the need to do things. On the deck, the weather is drawing inclement. It is raining. The ship is starting to get up speed on the water, having just left Zeiss's underground market through its deceptive entrance. It appears the pirate ship was waiting and is moving to intercept them. There's nowhere for the ship to go. It is possible they might be able to squeak past, as Captain Cole calls out orders to First Mate Bosun Strong, a halfling. And if you can check the little mini triangle, you will notice that Strong is in fact quite small compared
It's smaller, yes.
He's so small.
Look how small he is!
As the crew expertly leap about, they're rigging the ship heels over as they try and squeeze through the gap. The pirate ship is a big ship, a galleon. Big for a river, but this river is not small. To Stump, it appears yet again, for he was there when Ironbeard attacked and was foiled by the magic man, who is now gone. The boat begins to chop in the water as it gets up to speed. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to get away. Sulin in particular was beginning to look around her options for fighting, suspecting there was going to be combat. She was... I'm going to say it is late afternoon.
Sun is...
Well, it's raining, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it's more...
Sun is heading towards the horizon, but the big cliffs are sort of speeding that sunset. The mast and other rigging casts long shadows across the deck.
Is Crow's Nest occupied at the moment? I'm guessing it is.
Yes. In fact, Riley is heading up towards the Crow's Nest to replace the guy who's there, if you want to move the Riley Mini onto the Crow's Nest.
It says 2 or 1 Crow's Nest?
The Crow's Nest forward.
Forward. Rear one is...
occupied by a guy with a crossbow.
Cool. I'll leave them as they are. Then I will instead... the boat's approaching us for the rear, isn't it?
No. It's heading in from the front, like angling, trying to cut them off from their escape.
Nasty. Right, then I'll find a...
If it was from the rear, it would just be a case of getting up to speed, because this is apparently the fastest boat.
Yeah. I will find a edge to brace on with cover and prepare to
Place
use my
your
boat.
mini where you are going to be. The
boat-
crew run around the decks, getting out wicked cutlasses and cudgels. Some of them are taking their boots off. Captain Cole brings out his own shining cutlass. It looks far too good
So
for someone of his means.
boat's approaching from this angle?
Other side.
From this angle?
Yep.
Cool. then I will.
That second boat beside it isn't the other boat, it's just a cutaway.
I realise that, yeah.
Revealed, just in case people get in there.
Yeah.
The little tea towel I've put on covers up the even lower decks, but I've got more. While you're positioning yourself appropriately, Captain Cole runs up to the front of the ship, leaving Strong behind at the rear castle. He appears to be... He waves his sword in a circle and points it directly at Dijak the pirate and begins screaming obscenities such as, "Go fuck yourself, you lubber. You'll never take this ship. This gold is my gold, the prophecy," and so forth. Saphiro is
going to run up, well, basically join Captain Cole, because he feels that, he's gonna try and remain closer to the center of the boat.
At this point, I ask, are you wearing armor?
Yes, he is wearing armor. Which is why he's going to try and remain to the center.
At this point, I'm going to point out that this unfamiliar environment imposes -4 AC to anyone who has not been practicing in the rigging. -2. That's why he's been doing it, you see. Because he knew. This is because this boat, it is the sea is chopping up, so it's a little bit more than it normally would be. And I'm not going to impose a penalty on your attack rolls, but I am going to give them a better chance of hitting you fucks.
So it was a -2 on attack.
No, AC.
-2 AC, thank you.
Just for this thing.
Makes the numbers higher.
You notice the crew don't seem to have this problem, because they all seem to have martial art pirate. Which is, because the game system just calls it martial art. But basically, because they're used to fighting on ships.
Yeah.
This is their favourite environment. Saphiro runs up beside Captain Cole, and he sees Dijak the pirate. A huge man, tall and powerful.
Where's Cole?
Cole's up on the front.
Yeah, I'm going to be closer to the center, so it'll be probably there.
A huge, powerful man, built like a very strong fighter. He himself is brandishing a cutlass and seems to be focused intently on Captain Cole. This man must be so huge, you think he might come up to your shoulder. He's a big guy. He's still a big guy. He's ridiculous, but this Dijak the pirate is a big guy. That's an estimate based on ships, so don't be surprised if it's different. Seeing everyone else rush off, Roya puts away her pistol bow in its safe break-proof case and draws out her hefty broadsword. And she looks around, casting her eyes around for the best spot to be. Right, that's fantastic. Good job, Roya. Good job, you fucking useless slut. And she decides that back to the mast here beside the hatch would be the best place for her to defend in order to reduce the chances of flanking and also to stop them getting below and setting fire underneath the ship. Stump sees all of his newest allies just run off willy-nilly, it seems, randomly. He doesn't know what they're doing. They're clearly experienced at this. He is left alone with Bosun Strong standing beside him, gripping the tiller in his tiny little hands like this. And like, and he turns to Stan. He's like,
Don't worry, Hugh.
Hugh man.
We've been through this kind of thing before. If you want, you could just go below decks and hide.
Yeah, just didn't. I'm gonna make a.
There's no way they're taking this ship without us burning it down so they don't get the cargo. And that is undisputed.
Waiting for that.
So was I.
I'm just gonna make a quick cowardice roll to see if I take him up on his offer.
Oh, Stephen, you can use your tower, just put it in the thing and drop it if you want.
Oh.
Did you want me to these?
Yeah, it's a bit dark.
Dead on is the best result, right?
Yes, except for nat 20.
Yeah. So yeah, I did on my cowardice. I will
So
say
that means you are a coward.
it means
I
a
want one! Where's mine?
America.
Fuck you. I'm not too sure about the candle placements at this point. We'll...
I'm going to at least bring it a little further away from the mic.
Yeah, because candles make noise. I know it doesn't sound like they do, but they actually do.
I stay here. Keep you safe. This makes it seem like I'm awesome, but actually, it's because
He gives you a grateful smile and he's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm a big target because I've got the wheel, and they assume because I'm very, very small, so small, that I won't be able to fight back. And they're actually kind of right."
good thing I hear then. Plus, you low not get shot. And now I have cemented the reason why I'm at the back of the boat, far away from the pirates.
Hey, where did fish go? There's fish.
And this Serenian guard is totally stumped.
Alright. He's on that side.
Cole yells out to Fish. He's like, Fish, get below decks and warm them up. We might need to get out of here in a hurry. Fish runs off down the hatch, and he is below decks. I'm just going to put him over here. Don't forget, let me forget where he is. He's below decks. Right, Saphira, you've put yourself there. Everyone's on the map. Right. The ship gets close, and you see a bunch of the Dijack's pirates. All their scurvy-looking dogs. They've got bandoliers of knives across their chests. They're wearing short breeches cut up high about the knees. Some of them are barefoot. A lot of them have, like, rope coiled around their arms with grappling hooks there. And they have slings with smoking, powderous fumes coming out of them, and they whip them out. The flasks that they're slinging crash against the Undisputed Era, and smoke billows out, surrounding the boat in cotton wool.
I was wondering about that.
Is it just the waves?
The smoke... The cotton wool. Fuck. Don't be funny when you're... The smoke billows across the deck, obscuring view of everything perfectly.
Oh, well,
so that you can't see through it.
Because that perception check I was going to ask to do.
Cole, standing beside you, was like, "Oh, you might want to get back to the mid decks. I'm going. They're probably going to come up from the rear. It's the best place to assault a ship. Coming in from the front is probably a trap."
How deep is the smoke?
It goes all the way down to the water level.
So, how
you would presume? You
how
probably can't tell from where you are.
obscuring is the smoke?
Quite.
So if I wish to make
Minus
myself
10 perception check.
as small as possible and find a corner and hide,
It would in fact count as a hide and shadows check with an advantage. So you get to roll twice and take the best result. It provides advantage. Those who are attempting concealment may enter the smoke area and gain advantage on concealment checks. Now, because these flasks and the powders make a slight fizzing sound, this includes move silently checks.
Is this little
Yeah, that's deliberate.
Okay, I just started checking.
The cotton wool represents where the smoke is. Someone take a picture.
Good call on the smoke too.
Strong grips the wheel tightly. He's like,
"Oh no. Dijack's death fog. They say his death fog lands on the ship. And when the fog clears, everyone on the ship is dead. And there's only Dijack's pirates. And of course the loot."
a flash of lightning.
right, so I'm going to make my way to the back of the boat in the smoke.
Right. I don't need you to make any checks. In fact, this is pre-combat, so you can do that. Yeah, just put yourself on top there. That's cool. I hope that isn't too loud for anyone.
He went and called it death fog.
I'm going to go to the... Wait, how confident would I feel standing on this given my...
It's very strong. You've walked on it before.
Okay, so wait. I'm going to go basically to the...
It does, however, count as difficult terrain, so it will slow your movement when you pass it, because you have to stand on the...
Fully stand on that.
I mean, you could just put it right beside it and just remind me of it.
Yeah.
Feel free to, like, move the cotton wool a bit. I'm not married to it.
I'm just going to make one more whiz check.
So essentially, the cotton wall's across the whole deck now.
There is not smoke across the whole deck, but like little wisps. But around the edge of the ship there is smoke. And this reason is mainly to obscure exactly where pirates are going to come from, because I could only afford to print so many minis, so they're going to come in waves.
So Sephiroth's just basically going to slowly rotate in that position so he can just try and... Yeah, sort of, but yeah, just try and keep an eye on... And if he hears anything, he'll...
In the dark of the smoke and the rain, you hear like chunk, 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 chunk as grappling hooks crash into the deck somewhere.
Can I make a listen check to see if I can locate direction?
It's too noisy! You wouldn't get good readings. Oh, but you can try.
Might as well do the first actual roll. 15.
What are you talking about? Brendan's rolled twice. It's actual.
I don't count that. He's dumb.
Oh.
I bust anyway.
I did on my cowardice again, so despite the fact that he called it Death Fog, I'm gonna slink back into the fog in this corner and watch Strong's back.
So, putting the bow away, obviously,
Smart.
and bringing out my new dagger.
I don't know what that means. What counts as a weapon? That's one-handed style.
And I will... just want to make sure I do. I know I do. I'll flick a bag of caltrops behind me.
Okay. That area covers the area it does.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
It wouldn't be very far because I couldn't get them very far on the boat. I'm assuming it may be 3 squares behind me at the most.
Okay.
And they only take up like 1 square.
They take up 1 square, but again, hasty, I don't think I could spread them as much as I could.
Yeah.
But again, spread them along the edge of the boat behind me.
Okay. Let's get some initiatives because things are going to start cooking off. Roll initiative!
Here we go.
Wait, it's not a fucking... Wait, is this the one where it's a D10 and a
D10.
I don't know. But, I mean, that is an awesome, wonderful roll
Wonderful roll.
on a D20 instead of a D10. So you halve that, don't you?
half a one?
Remember, low is better.
Yeah, I just rolled the wrong dice for initiative. So I'll whiff away that
I
very
rolled a
good roll.
9.
I rolled a 1. So...
Rolled it.
Oh god, that's the right height and everything in it.
It's fucking perfect!
Oh my god.
See the other thing underneath it.
It's beautiful.
So I go on 13 and then again on 17. No, wait. No, just sorry. Just 13. It's the second
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
on
second
turn. I
13.
get the
Sorry.
second
Sorry.
turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's good?
5.
And you've got just the one attack, right?
At the moment, yes, I'm only keeping 1 attack.
Stomp.
14.
I will specify I'm in martial arts stance as well.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure I use the right term for the thing I want to do.
No, I guess chop it out, summon my one-hander.
Suddenly, pirates leap onto the deck out of the fog. Oh, it's mysterious how they suddenly got there. Right. The pirates immediately run to attack the crew and engage them. Here. Captain Cole sees where they're going, and he charges across there and leaps into the fog off his own ship, right where one of the pirates came aboard.
So he just disappeared, so as we can tell, into the fog.
Sounds of battle begin. Right. Okay, Sulin. They are as a raid currently.
So this one here is a pirate, making sure. Yep.
Yeah.